other person, hopefully we'll get someone interested to speak for Femi Falana if he comes to that. Let them just sit in as observers. And I appreciate your indulgence. When you insisted, we have to do what you want. The essence of today's hearing is for the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, following a resolution of the Senate last week, conduct an investigative hearing today to enable the various stakeholders inform the Senate through us as to their perspectives regarding what happened in the courtroom, one of the courtrooms of the Federal High Court 2 Fridays ago. Of course, as a Senate, we are concerned that the courtroom is meant to be a sanctuary and definitely a temple of justice. And we are also convinced that a democracy that will survive will have to be founded on rule of law. Members of public were concerned, our constituents called us. And of course, the Senate resolved that we shouldn't just also jump into any conclusion. We should allow the opportunity for the various stakeholders to properly inform us on what happened so that we'll be able to form an opinion and then, of course, report back to the Senate. That was the essence of this investigative hearing. And we want to thank all the various stakeholders that we invited for coming. The DG SSS personally is here, leading the DSS team, and of course some of his senior staff members. The Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Justice is leading the team from the Federal Ministry of Justice, and of course the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice had also called to personally explain why he would not be able to here to lead the team. And of course, the next person to him in the ministry has led the team, and we are grateful for that. Of course, the Executive Secretary, National Human Rights Commission is here. And we're also satisfied that even though Mr. Femi Falana or SAN could not be here in person, he called from the airport and he assured that his colleagues would be here ahead of him, and they have also so introduced themselves. And I've also seen at least 1 or 2 other members of the Nigerian Bar Association who are here as interested lawyers. So definitely I welcome all of you. However, having said all of this, I also must very regrettably inform that we are not going to be able to proceed with the investigative hearing this morning as contemplated because we lost one of our colleagues yesterday, Senator Ben Nwojo from Imo State. He was with us. He was on the floor of the Senate 2 days ago, on Tuesday, 2 days ago, and he participated actively. And nobody would have imagined, that such a news could come yesterday. But it goes to show the mortality, again, of the human. It's a very sad moment for us, and for the same reason we have had to suspend the plenary session today. And I apologize that we couldn't start this at 10 a.m. exactly as contemplated. This development disrupted a lot of things, and of course, we had to be at the plenary first to pay him respect, formally adjourn plenary. Having suspended legislative activities at the plenary level, of course, by extension, it affects all legislative activities, not only of the Senate, but of the National Assembly. It is for that reason that we will not be able to continue with the investigative hearing as contemplated, and what we resolve to do, however, as a committee, because we still have to report back to the Senate, is to implore the DG, DSS, the Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary, Minister of Justice, the ES National Human Rights Commission, Mrs. Femi Falana, and any other interested stakeholders from within the civil society present here to please avail us, with their memorandum, within the next 24 hours. We will really appreciate that, because we have to do a report for the Senate, and the fact that all of you have chosen to be here to honor this invitation shows that we all mean well for this country, but we have to come to some conclusion. We have also contacted the Office of the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court as the Chief Custodian, of that sector, to give us their own perspective of what actually happened. Regardless of what was reported and all that, we felt we needed to also hear from them. And they have also written, including the presiding judge, and the chief judge has sent that to us. So we really will appreciate if you will let us have this, at least before the close of business tomorrow, so that they can all form part of our own report. It's an extremely sad moment for us here, and it's a loss to Nigeria. So definitely that will be the way to proceed, but if anyone has any question or have any information in this regard or comment in this regard, we can quickly take that, after which we'll observe 1 minute of silence, in memory of our late colleague again, and then adjourn. In absence of that, may I most respectfully just ask that we all stand up for a minute of silence. His gentle soul rest in peace. Amen. Implore you to please ensure that we get your memo within the next 24 hours. And I wish you the very best. And having said that, I want to say that I'll call for a motion for adjournment. Moved by Senator James Manager, seconded by Senator Susan. Our meeting is thereby adjourned sine die.